Alright, gentlemen, today we're going to be working on stance and shooting while moving. Now, as always, we're going to do a safety check beforehand. The trigger string on this weapon is actually broken, so it's incapable of firing, but we're going to do a safety check anyways. So, drop the magazine, lock the slide back, digitally and visually check the chamber, digitally and visually check the mag well, no magazine in there, no round in the chamber. We're good to go. Alright, so there are three stances. Two are good for stationary. One is good for shooting while moving. Now, I say there are three stances. There are a lot more than that. You start getting to advanced practices like center axis relock and some other odd stances out there. But right now, we're going to be working on three very basic stances. That's Weaver, Modified Weaver, and isosceles. First things first, I'm going to be showing you Weaver. That's your normal bladed stance you see in most Hollywood films and a lot of games. It's great for stationary shooting because you get your natural point of aim. If you don't know what your natural point of aim is, go ahead and look it up. You'll find some great resources online showing you how to find your natural point of aim and what it does for you. Really dumbed down version of it is it allows your body to not fight the weapon so much. So it's a very natural way of shooting a weapon. It's going to look a little something like this. It's bladed. We're going to show you weapon holstered for now. It's bladed. Like I said, you get your natural point of aim. Great for stationary shooting. Can't really move. As always, keep your weight forward. Bend forward a little bit. Bend your knees. What it looks like with the weapon integrated. Alright, now Modified Weaver comes into play when you straighten your arm out to absorb recoil. That's going to look a little something like this. Now with your arm locked out, you're going to be able to absorb recoil a lot more efficiently. The recoil is going to go directly into your arm. You get to use your full arm to absorb it. Like I said, absolutely outstanding for stationary shooting. Now, the method that I use is isosceles. That's squared off towards the target. It's great for shooting on the move. And once you get used to it, you can use it in stationary shooting too. Now, what you want to do is put your feet shoulder width apart, point them towards the target, bend your knees a little, lean forward. You want to keep your weight forward while you're shooting. None of this leaning back. You see a lot of that in new shooters. That's a very bad habit to get into. Most of the guys you see on the range, they're very new to this with no training whatsoever. Look a lot like this. With the correct stance, you're going to look a little something like this. Now, naturally, this is going to vary from person to person. I've been told me and my teacher have a very jacked up shooting stance. So whatever works for you works great. Like I said, this is a way to do it, not necessarily the way to do it. I've seen a lot of guys use center axis relock even. I've seen guys effectively move and shoot using Weaver stance. Whatever works for you, that's great. But I use ISO. That's what I've been training. That's what's worked for me for several years. So we're going to train that. Now, once you're comfortable shooting stationary, we can start integrating movement. And what happens when you engage targets that's to your left, to your right, to your 3 o'clock, and to your 9 o'clock. Now, in most competitions, there's what's called a 180 rule. You cannot break 180 degrees to either side. You have a 180 degree firing arc, and you cannot break that. You cannot point 181 degrees to your side. That's 3 o'clock and what? 16 minutes. So you're not going to be able to you're not going to have to shoot back here, pointing this way. More often than not, I say that. I've engaged I said, bend your knees a little bit. Keep your feet pointed towards the target, and as always, weight forward. And with your knees bent, it's not going to affect the weapon as much as walking straight. Let's look at knees bent. You get a lot less weapon swing. You do not want your body fighting the weapon. The more you fight the weapon, the more you're going to get unnecessary input, and your shot's going to get thrown off. So major points: don't fight the weapon, bend your knees, keep your weight forward. Now, the way we train is what me and my teacher do, and his teacher before him. We walk a triangle. So you walk side to side, forward left, backward right, side to side again. So what happens whenever you want to engage targets that are not directly in front of you? I'm going to go ahead and draw my weapon here. Now most of the time, you're going to be shooting straight forward. Great for square range practice, and it's great to build the fundamentals. However, in competition shooting, you're going to have to engage multiple targets that are not directly in front of you. So with that said, you don't want to just move your arms and just move your head. Move your torso along with it. Imagine there's a line between your chest, your sternum, and the gun, and it cannot be snapped. If you snap it, you're dead. So lock your torso behind the weapon. Move your torso along with the gun. This is going to help increase your accuracy. In the long term, make it a lot easier on you to shoot. So I'm going to run a simple drill for you, dry fire. Not going to squeeze the trigger because that might fuck up the weapon. However, we can do this without squeezing the trigger. So like I said, we're going to walk the triangle. Start over here. Weapon drawn. Forward left. Backward right. Side to side. Now the key here is point your feet where you want to go, point your torso to the target you want to shoot at. Alright, now if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Any questions about the weapon, any further questions about different techniques, grip. I have a grip video posted, I have a few practice videos posted if you want to see something in action. I do make mistakes, a shit ton of mistakes, so feel free to